Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to take a look at some new earbuds. These are from Havit, and they're the G1s. Let's go ahead and check them out. Now, when it comes to true wireless sports earbuds, I have to say that from the specs, the G1 take wireless to the extreme. Let's check out some of the features. Let's see why you'd want to consider this, and also look at the affordability because these are very affordable. And one of the things that they highlight is the fact that they're extremely comfortable and they will not fall out of your ears. So let's take a look at the box. We'll do the unboxing, do an audio test, and check everything out about the G1 from Havit. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available. So first couple stuff that we're going to take a look at. Let's take a look at some of the features here on the G1 on the cover. So these are sports earbuds, and because they're sports based, you can see that they have an IPX rating of 5, and they also have a 18-hour battery life. IPX is great because if you're running and you get wet, or if you just tend to sweat profusely like I do, you're going to be in a situation where you want something that's going to be waterproof. So here we have our earbuds, as you can see here, and then it comes in its charging case. Now this is the G1. But from what I understand, there's a G1W, which I wish I had on the channel to show you. But the G1W takes this earbud set to the next step, in my opinion, because not only is it completely portable and wireless, but the actual charging solution, the base itself, you could put it on a QI charger and it's going to charge wirelessly. Now let's take a look at some of the other features that we have here. We'll look at the packaging here at the back. We'll zoom in a bit. So it does have an on-off sensor. It has great comfort, and we're going to talk about that. Stereo, you can use them in stereo or mono, which means you can use one earbud or both. You also have customizable drivers here. So it's customized speaker drivers to give you some superb audio quality. And we're definitely going to share what my experience has been. Voice control, so that it can do that, and highlight Siri there. 3.5 hours of battery life per use. Each earbud has a 60 milliamp hour battery, and this does feature Bluetooth version 5.0, which is good. So most earbuds that I've reviewed on the channel are still stuck in 4.2. So having 5.0 just means it's going to be more efficient, better battery life, better audio quality. It's just better all the way around since it's the newest standard. All right, so in the box, you do have your charging base, you have your earbuds, you then have some ear stabilizers, micro USB charging cable, and earbuds. Now let's take a closer look at the actual charging and travel pouch itself, or case. And it's pretty straightforward. There's not really much special about this outside the fact that it has a magnetic closure which locks up really nicely. If you have the G1W, you're going to be able to place this on a QI charger and charge the base, and which will then charge the batteries for your earbuds. The earbuds themselves lock in, so it's a magnetic lock. So we'll go ahead and put it like this, and then we'll go ahead and put this one in. Let's make sure you guys can see that, like this. So they lock into place just like that, and we'll get a little closer so you can see, and then they close just like this. And you'll notice that the little light here is illuminated now because they're actually charging. So again, when you open it up to remove them, all you have to do is put your finger here and then just take it out like this, and then they'll immediately start flashing. So I'm going to pull this one out, and you can see how they're flashing right now. And that's because they're connecting to the phone or going into pairing mode, depending on, again, if you had connected them or not. Now, one of the things I have noticed on these is, let's take a closer look at the tips themselves, or the buds. So we'll zoom in a little bit. Is that you basically have an indicator on each one telling you if you have a right or left. These are the tips that you can replace. Now keep in mind that you don't have to use the same size left and right, so you can adjust these based on your ear canal, which I have done for mine because they're not the same. That's going to give you a great fit. This is the contact point. It does have a mic for phone calls, and then this is a multifunction button that can be pressed. This is the wing stabilizer that's going to keep these in your ear. Very light, and they do feel very well when they're in the ear. Same thing happens on this side, except that this one is a left. Now, as we take a look at this, you'll notice that there is a R here for right and a L here for left. So what you'll want to do is just make sure that you grab the right one. So here's my right. side. Is that actually, no, it's on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. And it will lock in magnetically. And here's my next one, and it just locks in magnetically. So once it's in place, it's charging, and it's good to go. Now, if we pull this back right here, this is where you have your micro USB charging port. This is where you're going to be able to charge this case. So good, I would say, implementation of a case. Also, I love the fact that they're magnetically connected when it comes to getting them back inside of the case, which makes sure that you're getting a good seal and that it's actually going to charge. Now, while you're going to get 3.5 hours of battery life on usage, one of the things that is also neat is that with a 20-minute charge, you're going to get a 1 hour usage benchmark. So that means that if you are using them, you've exhausted them completely, and you want to be able to use them rather quickly, it's going to at least be 20 minutes of charging, but then you'll get a full 1 hour of use. Now, the neat thing about these, just so that if you've never purchased a solution like this before, and this is pretty common with all of these wireless, true wireless earbuds, they have a charging case, is that you want to carry this with you everywhere. You want this in your purse, your bag, your pocket, if you're using these type of earbuds, because the battery life of 3.5 hours is greatly extended. I have never killed one of these completely unless I'm on a plane and going on a 4 or 5 hour flight. And that's because as soon as you're done, so you walk into a grocery store and you take off your earbuds, you put them in here, they're going to be charging. You go to the gym, you work out for an hour, you put them in here, they're going to be charging. You're in your office, you get up to go to lunch, you put them in here, they're going to be charging. So because the case doubles as a charger, the battery life in itself, while 3.5 hours is good, and we have reviewed some that have 4 to 5 hours, it still is very long. And under normal circumstances, you're not really going to kill this because of just the fact that you're putting them away and charging at the same time. So next, let's talk about audio quality. How do these things sound? So first of all, if we look at this design again, and we'll pop this guy out right here. You have an earbud that goes pretty deep in your ear canal. So from a passive noise isolation, it does a really good job of keeping the music in and the noise out. The gel right here that you have is pretty secure, which I like as well. And the wingtip here is very comfortable and is going to keep it on your ear. And you can actually change these out as you saw what we saw in the container. But no ear fatigue, no stress. Because they're light, I didn't really feel kind of this thing going on. So when I put on earbuds on, the weight of this piece could cause some friction or some stress in my ear canal. I haven't really experienced with this. Matter of fact, when I have them on, they feel like they're going to fall out because they're so light. But when I do the shake test, as you'll see a little bit later, they really don't. So really, really nice that they are constructed in a way and designed in a way to fit and not fall out the way they've distributed the weight and the way this wingtip works. So now let's go ahead and talk about audio quality. How's the bass, how the mids, and how are the highs? And I have to say that this scores highly in all three areas. So bass is present, mids is present, and high are present. Everything sounds very clear. Everything comes in stereo mode. I enjoyed using these because of the audio quality, which is very uncommon sometimes with wireless earbuds because sometimes they either favor the voice, the vocals, and it's going to be more in the highs. Some cases they focal the mids. Some they're very bass heavy, depending on the manufacturer and what their goal is. But these are really well balanced. And I don't mean balanced like you can't tell the difference, but I feel the bass, I hear the mids, and I hear the highs. So for someone that is looking for a good audio experience and being able to experience all those different ranges, these are a good buy. So guys, we're going to do an audio test, and I have the earbuds in my ear, and what you're hearing right now is the audio coming from my camera recording the outdoor environment. So you're going to hear a lawnmower, you're going to hear all this noise going on. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to switch to the earbuds so you can hear what it sounds like to wear these and have a phone call.
Okay, so now the audio is coming straight from the earbuds. So we still have the lawnmower going. We also have cars passing by, and this should give you a sense of what kind of audio quality the earbuds have. One thing I wanted to show you is what it looks like in the ear. So let's get a little closer so you can see what it looks like right there. I'll go over on the side, and you can notice that they almost disappear. So the same thing happens on this side, which is good because we've looked at some earbuds from Sony and from both, and they stick out like if you had something protruding out of your ear, and I'm not too much of a fan of that type of earbud. Also from how do they stay in your ear? So let me give you a jiggle test. You can see that as I'm moving left or right, they don't come out. I can jump up and down, and they stay secure. So very comfortable. Again, they are very light, and they don't really feel like you have anything on. But the only exception is the noise isolation. So these don't have, at least from what I've been able to identify, the pass-through technology. So when you put these on, they seal out everything that's going on around you. And that's how you really know that they're in, because you're blocking everything out. So what that also translates to is some really good audio. So as you saw a couple seconds ago when we were talking about the bass, the mids, and the high, they're pretty there. They're loud. They are going to immerse you completely in a experience that's very positive when it comes to music. And as you can hear right now, this is the audio quality that you're getting. And yeah, I do have a lawnmower cutting nearby. So hopefully this test helps you get a sense of what you can expect.
So guys, that concludes our review of the G1 True Wireless Sports Headphones. If you have any comments or questions, comment area, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.